Before you start trying to punch yourself in the face and inject yourself with lip fillers to become more attractive and appealing, I'm going to show you the most overlooked and underrated softmax that you can do, and that is to build an attractive aesthetic physique. Contrary to popular belief, attractiveness is not just about contorting your face and getting surgery to look better. There are two aspects of becoming attractive, especially on a first impression basis. If you're walking down the street and you see a group of 20 people, there's one guy that will probably stand out. And he may not just stand out because of his face, he's also standing out because of his wide frame and his wide shoulders. Ever since I started training in the gym, whenever I'm walking down the street, I usually get looked at. I don't have the best face card, but it's because I've been able to build a wide physique that stands out and has presence. From a distance, people are going to only be able to see your silhouette realistically. They can see some general structure of your face, They can tell if you're fucking fat, and they can tell if you have like fucking 3 eyes, but they can't really tell the exact aesthetics. They're mainly going to judge you by how your body is framed. So if we can instantly get assumed attractiveness by the way we look at a distance, well, we're going to be sweet. And honestly, so many guys in the looks improvement space are ignoring the fact that you still need to build a physique even if your face is good. Because if you take these two guys and put them right next to each other, we have on the left a guy who is skinny, has little muscle and little frame, but he has an attractive face. And then on the right, we have a guy who has an attractive face and he has frame and a good physique. Realistically, who do you think is going to be getting more girls? If you look at the guy on the left, you're automatically going to assume he's a twink, even though he has a pretty face, just like the guy on the right. There's a certain perception that you get that he is more girly and he's less manly. And we know that girls are attractive to masculine guys. On a scale of polarity in the dating market, in the attraction market, the more masculine you are, you're going to attract more feminine girls, and that's what we want. So if you can actually look masculine, like the guy on the right, who has an aesthetic, manly physique, then partner that with an attractive face, you're going to be sweet and you're going to attract more of the masses, be more appealing to more of the population than the guy who is skinny and just has an attractive face. That's why so many looks maxes fail, because they improve their facial aesthetics and yeah, they get in the door, but the second they take their shirt off, they look like a fucking 4-year-old child. Why would you want to do that? That is just the definition of not being well-rounded and not being a total aesthetic package. And look, honestly, if you're watching this, then you most likely do need to build a physique, because the brutal reality is, just like myself, your face card is not carrying. You are probably an ugly motherfucker just like I was. And it was the physique that actually changed this forever. See, the guy I showed you just before, he can get away with it. He can still be attractive, but realistically, bro, like, the chances of you being born with a perfect jawline and perfect facial structure is pretty low. So if you're watching this, then you're probably not the most attractive guy, and that is what actually inspired me to start the gym in the first place. Now, what physique do we actually want to build? Well, it's simple. We want to build the physique that elicits the most attraction and the most first impression appeal. And that comes down to building a physique like this. There are key traits of the aesthetic physique, and there are 3 things I want to go over specifically. Number 1, you need to have a V-taper. That emphasizes that presence. That first point I made, when you walk down the street, you're going to get more eyes on you if you have a V-taper physique. If your physique looks like an upside down triangle, because it just looks like you take up more space and you have more presence. You're more masculine, you're more controlling, and you're more dominant. You also need to be lean. You don't want to be a twink. You want to be masculine with a good amount of muscle mass, but you want to have abs. You want to have a lean 6-pack, and that way you can look good in any regard with your shirt off or your shirt on. Next, we want to build a shoulder dominant physique, because we're going to be emphasizing our V-taper, and we're just going to look stronger and more masculine overall. And the benefits of building this physique are incredible. You will get so much more attraction than you think if you just build this specific physique, because even with a semi-decent face like I have myself, I'm no fucking model, I still get hella attraction, and the physique just adds points overall to your general attractiveness. Now, there are a few top exercises that you can do to actually build this physique and bias your training towards building it. And I explain this inside of Project Undeniable, my online community, which you can join through the link in the description. But if you want the basic run through of some of them, I would recommend to start implementing weighted pull-ups into your gym training, as well as overhead pressing movements, and training your side delts and your rear delts consistently and with heavy loads. Now, you still want to be training all the other muscle groups in your body so you can have a well-rounded physique, but these are the areas you should be focusing on the most, because that's what's going to boost you up to having that attractive, appealing physique. Now, there's a brutal, notorious mistake that a lot of guys make when they hear that they have to get in the gym to improve their attractiveness, and it's the reason why their face doesn't improve, their overall looks don't improve, and they just don't even get real world results. And that's because of a few reasons, but particularly they're optimizing for the male gaze, and that means that they're optimizing for what the guys think look good. And that's usually a massive, big bodybuilder physique where everything looks very spherical and very blocky. You don't want this. This is the kind of Chris Bumstead bodybuilder look. And that's not to say that that's not attractive, but if you're going for an attractive, appealing look to the mass population, just like being overly skinny and being a twink and having a good face, you also don't want to be overly big with a semi-good or even a bad face or a good face, because that's just going to make you unappealing to the mass population. We want to be as attractive as possible to the most common demographic. And that's why tapering it down a bit, not getting overly massive and still maintaining the lean aesthetic V-taper physique is going to be the solution. When you're doing this, you don't want to overshoot bulks and you don't want to overshoot cuts, because it's going to increase your inflammation and it's going to make your face bloated and it's going to make you look even more fucked than you were when you first started, and you're not even going to get benefits from building the physique. Also, avoid PED usage because it's going to create bloating, it's going to create extra age in your face. The whole point of this was to look better, not to fuck ourselves up and look worse. So if you're careful of those things, the beautiful thing about softmaxing and improving your physique is that your face will actually improve significantly as well. If you're training the correct muscle groups and building an attractive aesthetic physique, you're also naturally going to be targeting muscles that improve your craniofacial support. So when you don't go to the gym and when you're a twink, just like I was, then every structure around your neck and around your body is just shit and weak, and it fucks up the way your head is actually supported. But when you get in the gym, when you get stronger, when you build better postural support, your face actually lifts, and your face, your jaw, everything improves just like mine did. You can see in the pictures, I went from having no jawline at all to having a jawline, and it's simply because I improved the support around my shoulders, neck, traps, back through training weights in the gym. And another way that specifically boosted my facial attractiveness heaps was growth hormone and dimorphism boost that you get from training. And especially when you're training hard, you're going to become more masculine naturally, and that is going to improve the bone density in your face, improve the structure, make it more angular, and that is literally what most looks maxing protocols are aiming to do with the face anyway. So inadvertently, by training your physique and building a physique, building an asset, you're also going to be improving your face. Now finally, there is a way that you can optimize your facial attractiveness and blend it perfectly with your physique, and it comes down to analyzing which archetype you are and applying the correct physique goals that align with this. For example, if we look at these pictures, we can look at the picture here of Cristiano Ronaldo, where he is naturally more of a pretty boy, a softer facial look, and he matches the softer, lean, athletic build, where he is not that massive. He still has a fantastic physique, and you can notice that he has abs, he is lean, he is ticking off the V-taper, and he has a shoulder dominant physique, right? And you can also see on the other side here, we have the hypermasculine brute build, which is Aquaman or Jason Momoa, where his face looks more aggressive and more hypermasculine. So what he's done is he's matched his physique to that. He is bigger. You could not picture a guy like this having a skinny twink physique. So that's why it's important to match your physique with your face. Interesting thing is, both of these guys are still following the aesthetic harmony rules, which are to maintain a V-taper, be lean, and have shoulder dominance in their physique. So I hope this has helped you understand that you can build a physique and it will actually improve your facial aesthetics as well. And attractiveness isn't just about boosting your facial appearance. It's also about being well-rounded, having both the physique and the face. And the beautiful thing is the physique boosts the face as well. If this has changed your perception or helped you, then remember to subscribe, and you can also join Project Undeniable, which is where I help average guys glow up and change their life forever. But that being said, remember that progress is purpose, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.